Hello there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. Welcome back to another fragrance review. And today we have a very nice fragrance from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. I've been requested a lot to try this particular fragrance and review it, and I thought, okay, let's go ahead and do it. And I'm talking about the Blue Oud from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Now, this is not from Ibrahim Al Qureshi. This is the Blue Oud from Ahmed Al Maghribi. It's a very nice fragrance. Let's find out all about it in this particular video. How does it perform? How does it smell? And should you consider getting this particular fragrance from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, right? You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, welcome back, and like I said, we're going to review Blue Oud from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Very quickly, let's talk about the packing. The box, very nice, actually, very good looking, very colorful. There are two fragrances in a similar fashion. One is this, and there is another one in purple called as Liana. So this has got blue colored texture. It's got the sleeves that you can kind of pull off like this. It's got the Ahmed Al Maghribi hologram, and then you're basically presented with a fragrance that kind of looks like this. It's a pretty well known kind of a box. We've seen this kind of box in a lot of fragrances. Okay, so box is good for presentations as such, and the fragrance bottle looks like this, very nice. This is the Blue Oud one, and at the back you have this jacquard feeling, a kind of a textured feeling, very nice. Overall, a matte finish kind of a bottle, looks very nice, and they've done a good job with the bottle. Okay, and let's do a couple of sprays because that's what we really want to get into, the fragrance itself. Okay, sprayer is pretty good, so it pours out a lot of juice, and it's a wide kind of a sprayer, and feels like a pressurized sprayer, so it's kind of feels very nice, and you do enjoy a good scent throw on this. So yes, very good done. Overall, from the bottle, the way the bottle looks, the presentation, I think this is an excellent gifting kind of an item, and I think the scent profile also is a little similar to that, so I think it would make up well, right? Alright, so what do you kind of smell? Okay, so immediately you kind of get a very familiar smell that is with a lot of Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances. That is something that I immediately noticed. So which is your typical leather and oud kind of a smell that's very evident. Okay, so a lot of the Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances have got a similar type of leather and oud note in some fragrances, let's say like leather, for example, or even if you think about like Ignite Oud, they have that nuance or that opening type of thing, and that's what I kind of felt when I first put this particular fragrance on a few days back. Now this is very nice, and what you kind of get immediately along with that leather note, which is basically a little bit of that slight animalic creamy texture, you also get a very nice sandalwood note. So that's what this particular fragrance is very known for, the sandalwood note. Okay, so there is that note that you kind of immediately get. You kind of get a very creamy texture. Now, it's a dense texture, not like the creaminess that you would associate with vanilla. So that's not the type of creaminess, but a very thick, creamy type of dry, sandalwood note. That's what you kind of immediately get. So which is very nice. Okay, and this is a fragrance that's very linear. So the way it kind of opens up is pretty much the same way it kind of stays till the end. Probably slight changes that you would see in a little bit of the top part of it, right? Now the top is actually got bergamot, and I think it's got also cypress, and the leather. Okay, so the leather opens right at the top, though the sandalwood note is actually mentioned way in the bottom. There you do get a very prominent leather and the sandalwood note along with cypress. Now cypress has also got some kind of a green, herbaceous, woody type of a vibe. Now at the top you do also have bergamot as well, but you don't really get any citrusy vibe as such. Slight tartness, you get some kind of a red fruit kind of a vibe is something that you do get. Now in the heart notes is where there's a lot of Middle Eastern touch to this particular fragrance, where there is a good amount of incense, there is geranium which brings up spiciness. So that incense note, geranium is a very good touch to this, along with violet leaf. Now violet leaf is also, I think, it's associated with iris, but then it's also got a spice element to it. So you kind of get a lot of spice element along with leather. So there is that leather with a little bit of that geranium, a little bit of that incensey thing, and in the dry down you have sandalwood, you have gaiac oud, which makes it a very woody kind of a fragrance, along with a little bit of patchouli and musk. Okay, now while the name says oud, it actually also has got it has oud, but it's not very prominent. It's not very prominent because it is not oud heavy. It is there, but it's slightly mellow. It's there in the background. So it's very safe for somebody who wants to try a leather oud kind of a fragrance or a woody kind of a fragrance with a little bit of a leathery vibe. this is something very, very nice. Now, because of sandalwood, because of gaiac wood, and a little bit of the bergamot right at the top, and incense, you do kind of get a little bit of a sweetness right at the background. It's not a sweet fragrance, definitely. It's more of an animalic, woody, leathery oud kind of a fragrance with a little bit of a smoky touch to it, but you do get a little bit of sweetness. Okay, now because this is a linear type of a fragrance, now like I said, it kind of opens this way and it stays that way and continues to be there on your skin for a long time. Okay, now this particular fragrance, if I'm not wrong, has got about 28% of fragrance alcohol, concentration, oil concentration, unlike the other Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances which are heavy on 40%, 50%. This is about 28%. Now, because of that, one of the things that happens is this is not a beast mode kind of a fragrance, in my opinion. You can wear good amount of sprays. It does project well. It is, however, in my opinion, a soft kind of a scent, and it works in its favor because that sandalwood note along with the leather, though leather being a very sharp note, here the sandalwood, because of that dry creaminess along with a little bit of oud, actually works very well. It's not a really very soft scent as well, but it's not a beast mode scent. I would say it actually kind of sits somewhere in between. It's like a loud fragrance, so to say, but not your typical beast mode loud fragrances that Ahmed Al Maghribi is known for. Now that's probably because of the concentration of the fragrance oil on this. Now, in terms of projection, you do get a good projection. You get about 45 minutes to 50 minutes to 1 hour, and you can smell the fragrance to about 2.5, 3 hours as well. Very, very well, pretty loudly, pretty nicely you can smell. But after the 2-hour mark or so, you will kind of, see that this becomes slightly lower and lower, but you do smell the sandalwood creaminess, that leather for a long time. You do get about 7-8 hours easy on your apparel. So if you're looking to try something which is very leather focused but at the same time has got a nice sandalwood, you can get this. And this is a compliment magnet, in my opinion, because the scent is very, very nice. Okay, it's a scent that people will kind of like on you, and you will also actually enjoy wearing it. So it's not a difficult fragrance to wear. It's a fragrance that you will easily like, and it's a fragrance that you can easily look at buying something as a Arabian or a Middle Eastern type of a fragrance. Now, is this particular fragrance cloning any other fragrance? In my opinion, no, because there are nuances that they say that this is like one of the Givenchy fragrances, but I don't have that. That Givenchy fragrance also has got a leather note and all of that, a fruity note as well. But I couldn't recognize this with any other fragrance that way. And because it's not a creamy type of a sandalwood note. Now, typically what happens whenever you've seen sandalwood fragrances, they are either in the dry down or they do not have a leather accord to it, right? They're kind of very separate fragrances generally. But here, because of the leather accord and the oud coming together and the sandalwood coming together, you get a very unique combination. Pretty nice in that way, but you can definitely explore this particular fragrance as a good one to consider from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances. From a price point of view, this particular fragrance should be available for about 2,200, 2,300 rupees, for which I think this is a very good value for money kind of a fragrance because of the scent profile and performance and the compliment getting factor, which is very, very good, and lasting is also very, very nice, right? Now, especially when you consider fragrances that are not extremely loud and not extremely soft, which sit in a sweet spot, this is definitely fits one there. And we will add this into the decants list by next week. So if you want to explore this particular fragrance, you can do so. If you want to buy it as well, you can DM us and let us know how you feel about it. Now, this is clearly a very popular one among people because people kind of like the way this smells. Not a lot of reviews, but I did see Yasir Bhai's fragrance review as well. So pretty good fragrance to kind of touch upon, and he's pretty right in about saying that it kind of smells very, very nice, and of course it's a compliment get-up, right? So yes, that's what I think about Blue Oud from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Next we will review Ignite Oud very, very shortly, because that's something that you definitely need to explore, right? So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and I'll see you on another video. Until another time, take care, bye bye.